Thank you. We'll go to Mr. Nehls for 5 minutes. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here. Part of the genius of the Founding Fathers was a system of checks and balances. Congress has a duty to oversee the executive branch, and members of Congress deserve answers to questions they pose to the executive branch. My office has written several letters to you, and we have not received a response on most of them. I sent you a letter back on May 2nd asking you a very simple question about whether the Biden administration supports maintaining a preferential no-fly zone for Disney. Did you ever receive that letter? Did you read it?
I believe we have it, yes.
Okay. Mind you, that no other amusement park enjoys restrictions on airspace, including competitors like Universal Studios. These no-fly zones are usually reserved for high-security targets like the White House and our most sensitive military facilities like nuclear launch sites. So it totally makes sense. I would like to add, no executive agency wrote to Congress about a national security need for this no-fly zone, which is the custom. The Obama administration's FAA administrator testified that Disney's no-fly zone does not meet the standard requirements and would not be in place had Congress not enacted specific legislation, a process that has been widely reported that was done out of uncouth lobbying. So what is the administration's stance on the preferential treatment for Disney's no-fly zone?
Well, of course, fundamentally, we simply have to apply the law. And in this case, as you noted, this set of flight restrictions that the FAA maintains, we do so because it's part of congressional legislation that was enacted in 2004. And then we codify those in notices to air emissions. I know that we have had inquiries both from members of Congress from time to time and from industry about this. And ultimately, any changes to that policy would be for Congress to put forward, just as the policy itself has come from congressional statute.
Fair enough, and thank you. And I will be pursuing just that here in the next Congress. And could you please, and just in one word, let's have some fun with this. Could you please describe America to me in one single word? What would that be if you could describe America in one single word?
Well, for me, I guess home.
Home. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, just a few weeks ago, this is how President Biden described America in one word. Could you please tell me what that word means? It's this one right here. Mm-hmm. Could you even say the word?
Congressman, I'm not in the habit of trying to read transcriptions.
I bring this up to you, sir. I bring this up to you
on television
because you yourself questioned Donald Trump's mental state of mind in September of 2019 when you stated to CNN, I quote, "If our presidency is not in good shape, then our country is not in good shape." And Mr. Secretary, I could not agree with you more. I'm going to repeat what your quote is. If our presidency is not in good shape, then our country is not in good shape. Inflation's at 9.1%. Gas prices are through the roof. Our adversaries are exploiting our weaknesses across the globe, and our southern border is non-existent. This administration puts the American people last. The left and the dishonest media, which in my humble opinion is the greatest threat to this country, the dishonest media, began questioning President Trump's mental state back in February of 2017, a month into his presidency. We now have President Biden in office for 18 months, and just recently, we now see the mainstream media questioning President Biden's mental state, and for good reason. Sadly, he shakes hands with ghosts and imaginary people. He falls off bicycles. Even at the White House Easter celebration, the Easter Bunny had to guide him back into his safe place. Cue cards that say, "sit here," or "end of speech," which he actually states, that is, if he stays awake. So my question for you is, sir, have you spoken with any other cabinet members about implementing the 25th Amendment on President Biden?
First of all, I'm glad to have a president who can ride a bicycle. And
That's the
I
question.
will look beyond the insulting nature of that question and make clear to you that the President of the United States...
Have you spoken to any other cabinet members about implementing the 25th Amendment on President Biden?
Of course not.
Please allow the witness to answer.
Have you emailed, this is my time, have you emailed any members with the executive branch about the president's health or
President
cognitive
of the
decline,
United States
including
is
text
as
messages
vigorous a
from your
colleague
private
or
phone.
boss as I have
I
ever had the
figured this.
pleasure of working with.
What about political appointees at USDOT? Have you spoken about
Gentleman's
this issue with
time has
them?
expired.
I couldn't hear the question, I'm sorry.
Well,
You yield me 1 minute, sir?
absolutely not. If you had yielded the secretary some time to actually answer the ridiculous question, you might have actually gotten something.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Oh my God, what a thing of beauty from Congressman Troy Nehls. Troy Nehls from Texas, of course, ripping Pete Buttigieg. A new one. Very, very painful. Very, very bad. Very, very beautiful. Why did he do it and how did he do it? Well, he sort of used Joe Biden's words against him. Joe Biden doesn't know how to speak the English language, and Joe Biden did say that he could sum up America in one word, and that word was...
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him...
So, Troy Nehls, this is his website. This is where he's from in Texas. He is Texas's 22nd district representative, and he's a firecracker, man. Troy's been on the show before, and he is a different type of congressman. Okay, it takes a very different type of congressman to print off the Easter Bunny and all those flashcards and everything, and to like properly embarrass Pete Buttigieg to the point that and Pete Buttigieg is very, very confident and very concerned man. He's very careful with what he says, and he's very, very bad at his job. And this ability to go in and ask those style of questions is very much in line with a new style of members of Congress that we're seeing. Fighters, people who legitimately do care about this country and do care about calling out these globalist elites inside of our country that are ruining everything. And there's no better example of that than diversity hire Pete Buttigieg. He's just so bad at his job. They nuked East Palestine, they poisoned the water for the kids, and then they didn't do anything about it. He didn't even go there. He didn't even want to talk about it. Yeah. Pete Buttigieg is scum. He deserved to be called out. We're very, very glad that Troy Nehls is doing it, and we're very, very glad that we finally have some fighters with some balls in Congress. We're fighting for you here on this program. It's your boy Benny. See ya. Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry and then to meme them crying. Their tears, they taste just like sweet, delicious ice cream. Salty, too. We ridicule the establishment and the libs because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you like what you saw, please punch the subscribe button, click like, and ring the little bell so that you know when we're live. Don't you want to know when we're live? And make sure that you subscribe to our email list just in case the plug gets pulled, as tends to happen. If you want to see more of our videos, click here or here. My name is Benny Johnson. Stay free, Base Patriots.